Ready to go now if you want to do it. I feel like during the 30 seconds, you can go without writing.
We'll be making a start in like 30 seconds, so if you want to get yourself ready.
Version 2 now live, so happy.
Hello, welcome back. Are we ready to go for the second round? Thank you. So, could all the VP Student Life candidates come to the stage, please? You'll have to spread yourself out over our two lovely sofas. There's also high seats if you can't fit on. There is quite a few of you. Is that everybody? Good. Great. So I'll stand up because I feel like I'm in the middle of a sea of people if I sit down. But to start, I will give you all a chance to introduce yourselves with your names, what you currently study, and why you've nominated yourself for this role. They'll have a limit of 1 minute each, so don't go over. We'll start on the right-hand side here, and then snake down, and then back up, if that's okay. So ready?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ayobide Kolade. People call me Kay. I'm currently pursuing an MBA, Masters in Business Administration, and I am going for this position because I am genuinely interested in student life, and I have been doing this for years. I have previously been the social director for my university for more than 10 years, and I feel like I want to bring the experience I have learned to you all and make a positive impact. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Louisa Alex. I study international tourism management. I'm in my final year at the moment. I nominated myself for this role because I've worked at the student union for 2 years now. When I first joined, I felt really inspired by the people that I was surrounded by. I thought it was a really lovely environment and something I wanted to be a part of. So I'm very grateful to have here for a second year, but I would also like that to continue into the future. And to make some positive differences for students.
Hi, I'm Alyssa. I'm a second year law student, and I chose to nominate myself for this role because I know exactly what kind of things people are going through, and I want to help benefit people with either the fun stuff or the more serious stuff that comes in student life.
Hi everyone, my name is Sabia Wilson and Princess. I'm currently pursuing my master's degree in biomedical science, and I decided to run for the Vice President Student Life because I believe in transformation of student life by engaging the creativity and also making inclusivity and also transforming the aspect of student life and making the vibrant campus life. Thank you.
Hi everyone. My name is Maurice Yusuf. I study pharmacology. I'm running for the Vice President Student Life because I believe the university experience should just be about studying, assessment, and seminars. I believe students should have other activities apart from studying to foster the sense of community in the university and to make every student more involved and to make sure and to make sure and to make sure by the time students graduate the university, they can look back and be happy about how they spent their time in the university.
Hi, I'm Will. I'm currently studying sports and exercise science in my final year, and why I want to run for this role is I've been part of the society community, and be that with smaller societies, I've gone to sessions there, and also sports societies as well, and I've seen firsthand the impact these societies can have and how they can impact everyone's life and their well-being on a day-to-day basis. And this also brings a sense of community to campus, and I feel like we can further grow this working together with these people to make sure the students get the voice and experience that they deserve from Chester.
Hello guys, so my name is Ravina Rajpurohit. You've heard everybody, my potential competitors have told you everything. Nothing great apart from what they have told, but I'm passionate, I'm really passionate about this thing. This is not a job for me, this is more about my passion coming into reality. I won't tell you what my experiences are, I'm more here to listen to what you want and I'll follow you guys, that's all.
Great, thank you. So we'll move on to our big questions round. These will all have a 2-minute time limit, and all of some of these questions have been pre-submitted, so students have had a chance to have a look over the questions and to think of their responses. So we'll start the opposite way and go the opposite way around, if that's okay this time. So our first question is, at the end of your term in office, if you are elected, what do you want your legacy to be? What positive, lasting change do you want to have made on students, university and CSU?
Perfect. So, of course, being very optimistic and fingers crossed, if I get elected and towards the end of the reign, what I would like to see is that if the next person is getting elected to the same role, I would like to see that the person is more energetic, because I want to see that same kind of energy actually vibrating through the university, because being proactive, being very much passionate about what you are doing is going to bring the real change, I feel. So, yeah, the same energy, same proactive approach is what I want to see.
I feel like, first of all, I want to continue the campaigns that the current SU are running on anti-spiking, sexual health and well-being, just because safety is paramount, and I want everyone in Chester to feel safe when they go on nights out or when they're on campus. So I'd love for that to be a part of my legacy, but also I want it so that all societies and sports feel like we can build a framework which can be led on for years after my role. And I want this to be a way for us to move on so everyone feels supported in the future, be that through partnerships and collaboration between societies, so everyone feels like they have the voice that they want and the experience they want as well.
What I would love my legacy to be is, by the time I'm done with my term, I want people to look back and be very glad with the work I have done, and to know that it's not fake promises, I made a real impact, and people to look back and say, due to my time, they've had opportunities to engage more, to form more connections with other people, and to make sure that by the end of my term, students, and make sure that students make their voice feel heard, and I really work on their feedback, and I use that to improve the student life in Chester.
So at the end of my tenure, my major goal is that I want to make sure like there's like a legacy of profound and meaningful change within student life and also in university. And also all the plans I have, I ensure to make sure like University of Chester is global. All the plans I have, I ensure like students are like all over the world, international students, other students among other cities in England when it comes to Chester, and also cultivating a culture of respect and inclusion, ensuring like that students have a good well-being, and also strengthening all communities within the University of Chester, and making sure all students feel involved and making an impact. So when the next person running for vice president, student life actually continue to progress. So thank you.
I would like my legacy to be someone who's listened, made sure that the issues that students are talking about get put forward, and the SU is able to work with them. I want to have a legacy that has the SU not only working with students with how they are doing now in the university, but help them get to the point where in the future they can also get connected with people. I'll talk a bit more about that in a little bit, but yeah.
So if I were elected, I would hope that my legacy would be having a long-lasting impact on students, how they feel about the university, that they come away and overall have had a really positive experience, and that they felt looked after in all aspects of student experience. I would hope that every day would be an enjoyable experience and something fun for them to do. But most importantly, I would hope that they would feel understood and how fast they've been at university and listened to, and that I would have acted upon the things that they would like.
If elected, I would want my legacy to have a transformational leadership approach, which means every student see me more like a friend. Instead of being formal, they can always walk up to me, okay, this is what is happening, this is what is happening, and then relate with me very well so I can really know what is going on. And then I would want also a legacy that includes inclusivity. That means everybody feels like one. Instead of having different international students have friends of their groups, I want everybody to feel like, oh, we are one, we are from the University of Chester, anywhere you see each other, you feel like you are at home, and make the university feel comfortable and a place that feels like home for everybody.
Great, thank you everybody. So we have had apologies from Mayan, Shreyas and Deborah today. Deborah has prepared an answer to this question that I can read out in her absence, so please do keep me on the timer as well. Fellow students, if elected as Vice President Student Life, I want my legacy to be one of tangible improvements in student well-being, affordability and engagement. I want students to remember my term as the time when their voices were truly heard and acted upon, a term that prioritised mental health of students, relieving stress and anxiety, thus a positive lasting change across all campuses. Specifically, I hope to leave behind a flexible tuition payment plan, affordable student accommodation, partnerships between the university and organisations for more student jobs and enhanced employability for graduates, more flexible student support and enhanced action on student complaints, lower canteen prices, coffee discounts and culturally diverse food on campus, making campus life more affordable and inclusive, established bus and coaches for commuting students, sports clubs and societies. My legacy would reflect on the university's reputation and growth. So that was Deborah's statement. Move on to question 2 now. So the question is there anything that you couldn't fit in your manifesto that you would also like to focus on? Perhaps a small thing that you would love to achieve that wasn't manifesto worthy? We're going to start here and go that way this time, just to mix things up a bit. So
one of the things I did in my manifesto is like trying to engage students in activities that like extracurricular activities. I realized that most students of University of Chester, they have like passion for like creativity, but they don't have the platform to like showcase what they do. So with me being the Vice President of Student Life, I plan to create that platform for them to be able to have other students like get to see them, and also trying to like do more events, inclusive events, trying to partner with like communities and other societies in the school, and trying to make students want to be part of the society. It's not just coming and going, but trying to mix different students from different diversities and let them come together to like be part of the societies. And also trying to organize more programs, forums for students to be able to like come and express themselves, feel loved, feel safe in school, wanting to meet other people. Yeah, thank you.
The thing that I think that I would like to do that wasn't necessarily manifesto worthy, but I do still find very important, is that I would like to bridge both the SU with other unions, like trade unions. That way, students that are going into different professions, not only do they have connections in the group and the jobs that they want, but then they find that they'll have connections, they'll have protections under the law, people who will work with them, make sure that they're taken care of as they go forward in their endeavors.
Okay, one of the things I would like to say that I didn't have in my manifesto is that people normally neglect, in as much as your academic life is important, which is what people talk about most of the time, your social life is also as important. And as a student, you need to show them you have to be able to balance these two to have a good student life. If you see me outside the school, I am very social and you will hardly believe I will even come to class. But academically sound, most of my classmates, they know me. Once they see my post, they don't believe I'm the same person in class. So I want every student of Chester to also know you can be social and also be able to balance your academic social life.
So my manifesto covers lots of different ideas to do with international students, community students, people on other campuses, and advancing sustainability. And there's lots of different things that can read in my manifesto, but a specific point which I've come across recently is to do with like first and second year students and how they're struggling with like course changes and the content of the courses are being changed moving forward. So I think I would help to support the VP education in working with the university to try and rectify the situation and try and enable students to have the experience that they expected and what was advertised to them. And I think that would really help improve their well-being and just don't enjoy the technical
Yeah, so I think I've got a short and a very sweet manifesto which people can actually scan through, because I don't want you guys to actually focus and read everything, because I also don't read a lot of stuff, but then I will just ignore it. I've got a strategic plan. I speak in the language of science and in the language of facts. So I've really got a strategic plan. How am I going to do it? What is the deadline? When am I going to do it? And it's all pre-planned with me. Only the thing is I've not put it because I don't want it to pressurize you with what I have in the stuff. But all the points which you can see is the pointers. These pointers are going to be achievable in 1 year because I have got the entire strategic plan, what we are going to do, how we are going to do it. So I don't have that in my manifesto, but I want to assure you that, believe me, if you read those points and if you want to see how is it possible, you can always DM me. But I have a plan, literally legit plan.
Yeah, so one thing that's come to my attention, speaking to students in general, is the recent housing reform bill. Some students might not quite understand what's gone on, but this has definitely been a growing concern within the housing community for students, and there's a lot of concerns with students trying to find housing, especially international students. I know suggestions of getting rid of guarantors has been suggested, but also I think we need to be, it's a very delicate topic, because we don't want to leave students with no guarantors and leave them with a lot of exposure for legal, if they can't, like legal proceedings, if they can't afford their pay and they've got no guarantor to fall back on. So I propose that we will work with guarantor services to offer more affordable guarantor services, so students can still, especially international students, can still get that affordable accommodation, but still have that fallback option of a guarantor without them having to pay a year's rent up front, which is totally wrong, and no one should be doing that. No one should be asked to do that. So that's the main thing for me.
Yeah, for me, what I do put my manifesto would be social networking events. As long as student life is about, it goes beyond academics. At the same time, most people who want to graduate university, and the main aim is to get a good job. And I'm someone that when I was in first year, I had a lot of anxiety about what I'm going to do after uni. So I believe if we have networking events that will bring alumni and other professionals, it don't have to be formal, it can be casual. There will be some event spaces, everybody can come together and talk, and any question they have, they can drop it to the alumni and to the professionals. And I believe that will help to ease the anxiety over what to do after uni. So that's one of the things I'm looking forward to do.
Thank you, everybody. So, last big question. This time we'll start with you and go around this way again. So the question is, how do you plan on capturing meaningful feedback and engaging students?
Yeah, for me, I believe meaningful feedback is not just about sending random emails to the students, because usually most people don't check their emails. So it would be better to go face to face, and in that way, I think the student can know you're also serious about them because you took the time to hear their opinions. So I plan to talk to students face to face to get their feedback and to see how we can improve the University of Chester from them.
So main thing for me would be to enhance coverage of all societies. I feel like we can do so much more to make sure that all societies are shown across the social media platform. And so I'll do this by weekly meetings with the societies popping in. So this is all across the social media. Be that one week I'd be with the British Sign Language Society. Next week I might be doing something like lacrosse, and then just keep on changing it constantly so everyone knows what sort of varied societies we've got. I also think we can enhance the engagement on social media for our sports teams. So recently Salford, our rivals in varsity, have started this Salford Sport TV, which I think is a brilliant concept, which is something we can do in Chester, which would also give experience to filming students, sports journalism students, and give the sort of a voice to all societies, so they can all and then have more coverage. So they've got more of a voice within the campus.
Okay, so because I'm a people's person, it does mean that I love to talk to people. I know 15,000 students in the University of Chester. Possibly not possible, may look hypothetical, but in my tenure of 1 year, if I get elected, I would talk to each and every student, and that means that I'm going to go to every class to listen, and they should feel that I'm listening to them, because just focus groups or social media doesn't make an impact. It is actually dying, and as presentation has no more holding an impact into lectures, social media and just getting feedback from those feedback forms doesn't help. I'm literally gonna talk to every student so that they feel that at least somebody is there. This university has really a great CSU team, which is really working for them. So we don't write in words that this is for you and this is by you. I'm gonna make it that real sentence in reality. When I say it, I mean it.
Okay, so first of all, I'm a very nice person, social, and you can always come and meet me, right? So I'll try and make sure students are able to come and talk to me freely, comfortably. And also, I'll create some quick and fun survey and polls whereby students can, drop up their suggestions, their initiatives, and I'll try to make sure their voices are heard. And also, I'll try to collaborate with societies from time to time. I'll visit societies to know what they are going through, and see how I can work with other of my executives to make it work. And also, I'm a very creative person, right? And so I'm gonna use my creativity to ensure that, I'm able to engage on social media with students and try to know what they need and how I can help and work along with my executive as well. And also, I try to organize open forums whereby students can drop in their ideas and all that. I did a party at the SU bar, and I was able to curate a DIY box whereby students drops in their feedback on their challenges as a student and all. So that was part of why I added my manifesto. So I'll try to create comfortable feedback boxes that that enable students want to drop their complaints and also ideas and try to make sure it's done. Yeah, thank you.
The way I would like to try to connect more with students would would be to make almost like a pub night or a coffee day, so like that I could just like sit with the students, because that's like the most comfortable place that most people would want to like sit and talk with like a friend. They're more likely to like open up and tell you what kind of things are going on, but that way you can give them a hand and things. Also, as you were saying, with the working with societies, building them up, making sure they have everything that they need. That is how I would want to connect with students.
So I think really making the most of like student voice representatives. I'm one myself, but I do find it quite difficult to get people in class actually forthcoming with giving their opinions. And I think one of the reasons for this is because people sometimes won't see the changes being made, and that will be for like future students. So I think having some kind of mutual instant benefit for all students when they're submitting feedback would help encourage more feedback. But also from my understanding of the way feedback works with the university, it's through the Connect Hub, and then some of that gets passed on to the Students' Union. I could be wrong about that's the way that I understand it. And I think eliminating that middleman and having feedback go straight to the union as an unbiased organisation would be the best way to act on and get the best out of the student feedback. But I think every voice matters, so as encouraging as many people as possible to participate is the best way forward. And I know students have free things, so maybe like more of those biscuits for everyone or something to try and get people to share their opinion.
To get a positive feedback, say I'm going to eliminate sending through email seems unrealistic because it's an official setting and it's a school. But I would say I would put my focus on the social media, which students uses a lot, because most of the time while we're out of the school, we don't want to open emails, we don't even want to reply to surveys. So like creating accounts for the school like TikTok, Instagram, that I can get genuine feedback from the comment section, whereby students don't even feel like they are giving feedback, but indirectly we're getting the genuine things we want. And then I'm going to work with, because I believe I can't work to each student in the school. We have about 15,000 students. So, but we have each CBR in each classes. Then I will go to them, ask for them what the student needs from each classes, get everything together, work with other executives about it. Also, I'm going to have open forums, workshop, and social events, because students like when they don't actually feel like they are working and you want a positive and genuine feedback. So you just get to talk to them. Are you okay? Are you enjoying the party? How about school life? Stuff like that. And also using incentives to fill online surveys, like maybe when you fill this thing, you get a voucher. When you fill this survey, you get free access to stuff like that. Because I genuinely participate in stuff like that. They sent me stuff like that, like last 2 months from the school. Though I didn't get the voucher, but I feel this because I wanted to get the voucher. So I feel that really helps students to get genuine feedback.
That's everybody. Thank you very much for all of those. It's now the speed round again, so could I have the white papers passed around for me, please? See my face. Right, so pens at the ready. We're going to start with a really easy one again, just as a practice round. And the first question is, what is the best way to eat a potato? As in, what is the best type of potato? Best way to eat a potato. Is there another? The best way to eat a potato. Yeah. Doesn't work. Listen. I mean, I know all of it. Can we reveal in 3, 2, 1? Roast, mashed. Chips with ketchup, jacket potato. Eat without peeling, as it is. Just a raw potato. And mashed with butter. We've got a few mash fans, a few roast fans. I approve. Right, now actually onto the proper questions. So, ready. What societies would you join or start if you had unlimited time?
15 seconds.
And reveal. ESL. Got a few. I mean, yeah, you had unlimited time. Any particular reason why mindfulness?
So I went to my first ever yoga session on Monday or Tuesday, and I came away feeling really relaxed and relieved. And at first, I really didn't like it. I'm really not very flexible, and I thought this was the worst thing ever. But then the change afterwards and finding that inner peace was really beneficial, and now it made me feel like I should persevere with more things, and actually it is really fun. So.
And when BSF?
So I was actually fortunate at the start of the year to go to some of the sessions, taste the sessions. I just feel my mother's currently learning it. She works in a school, and in the future I hope to work in a school, and I think everyone should learn it, to be honest, because everyone should be able to communicate with each other, should have the same benefits as everyone else. So if everyone could communicate, there wouldn't be a problem.
Great, thank you. Rugby board's clean. Question number 3. What do you think is the most important part of the role of VP student life? 15 seconds. And can we reveal, please? Why do you think it's feedback?
Because I think every student have got their own opinions, and when you think by work, wrong of so it's better when you listen to students and then tell you to give you their feedback.
Why inclusivity in particular? Why?
So I trust inclusivity because first of all, for it to be like the VP of student life, you have to make sure all students are there. You can't just have a particular set of students. You have to carry everybody along. For creativity, for you to be the vice president of student life, you have to be creative. You have to think out of the box. You have to do what is gonna make students all over globally want to come to University of Chester. You have to make University of Chester stand out, and so you have to be creative. And engagement, you have to engage students in different ways, mental health, forums and all that. Trying to collaborate with communities and societies of school. Trying to engage students in sports, extracurricular activities. Trying to let students know that it's not about academics. They have to also have to have a good social life as well, and other parts of their life as well should be included. Thank you.
Alyssa, what about yours? Active listening.
So I believe that active listening is probably the best way to figure out anything with anybody, because students will tell you what they need if you just sit there and just listen. And it might not just be from the words that they're saying, but their body language and everything else. You kind of have to pay attention to every little thing. And when you're doing active listening, that's exactly what you're doing. You're finding out what they need so you can better make their lives better, I guess.
Okay, great. Question number 4. What have been your favourite CSU-led events this academic year? What have been your favourite CSU events this academic year? And reveal. I think we've got a few shy queens in there. Why Lily's pad?
Yeah, she was awesome. I would say because so I suppose that I did all the workshops and it was really informative. Though I'm a very extroverted person, but I did some workshops related to introverts. I did collaboration, though I know that I've got the skills, but then they told their perspectives and understanding that there's always a bit more to what you know. So I loved it, and I generally appreciate it. And Emily, what about yours?
From being a mental, because I feel like that's the important thing that covers the student's life. I want a school that makes me feel heard and make sure I'm okay. So having a well-being talk and mental health is really important to me. So,
Great. Some really great answers in that one. Final speed round question. Describe your vision for your time as an officer in just 3 words. 15 seconds. And can we reveal, please? Should we read them all out so we can all hear? So we'll start that way and work this way.
Faith, trust, and reality.
Student voice markers.
Collaboration, engagement, and inclusivity.
Passion, action, and voice.
Bold, responsive, and fun.
inclusivity, improvement, and empowerment.
Fun, unity.
Some really great mixes of words there. I enjoyed that a lot. Could we collect the whiteboard, please? Thank you very much. Whilst we do that, we'll be offering it up to the audience again. So if you do have any questions, I will leave in a second, and you can scan the QR code on the screen. You can also go to slido.com and input the code that is on the screen here. But whilst we wait for questions to come in from the audience, Summer, our VP Student Life currently, has a question for the VP Student Life candidates. So I'll let you take the floor.
There are so many questions I could ask, so it did take me a while to try and think of just one. But the one I did want to ask is, as you know, we collaborate with the AU. The sports teams are different to our societies. So in terms of collaborating with the AU, how would you do that? And as well, because the sports teams aren't ours, it's societies, how would you make sure there's a differentiation there? And how would you still support those sports teams?
Okay, so that is one of my manifesto points. I believe in fierce competition, and of course, sports are a part of life. We can't actually neglect them. For me, if you say it is not a part of our societies, I would say still collaborating with them would be very essential, because we need to have more than academics, that students from all the classes, no matter what year they're studying in, they should have competitions. No matter what game it is, it's about the skill which develops out of game is not about you winning or losing. It's about teamwork, and that needs to be developed in every human being, I feel, because people actually think of the end goal, but the journey you should enjoy, and that is, we all are learning. Sitting here, that no matter who wins, it's all about what way we played it. So of course, I will be having kind of conversation with them that how that can be, and that can be brought in, and yeah, see that needs to be there. That is real necessity. That if you don't have sports on it, then it's like jack of all and master of none.
So I feel very passionate about sports in general. My whole time in Chester, I may not be sat here today if it wasn't for the sports and societies, because it's so important. I feel like I've already built a connection with a lot of the societies and the sports, and I feel like working with them is something I've been doing every year since being here. I feel like just building partnerships with local sports clubs as well, helping committee members. I've been in a committee role for 3 years and won numerous awards with the EU awards. So I feel like I'm in a good place to work with these people, and I've had the experience there. I understand that their concerns about funding and their concerns about equipment and just general things like that. So I feel like I'm in the best position, and I know that exactly how they feel. And then on the other side, then we've also got the societies which are building the smaller societies. I feel like it's important that everyone gets treated fairly as well. If sports are not a priority in comparison to societies, everyone gets treated fairly, and we all work together for Team Chester.
being a sport person myself, I think it will be easy for me to work with them. And the fact that sport is a very important aspect of everybody's life, I think everyone should do sport because apart from the competition, I think it improves mental health, it improves the well-being, which is very essential for students, for the studies, and for extracurricular activities.
Okay, first of all, I'll try to see how I can, partner with all the sporting like activities, keep like active sporting society, and try to see how I can get more students to join the sporting activities. Try to get ways I can partner with them to like see how much students will be enticed to want to be part of them, right? And also by doing that way I can know the most important sports that students love. It's not just about having several sports. Most students have a specific sports they are so interested in. So I'll try to do some events around that with collaboration with the sporting society and also yeah, that's it.
I would most likely work with the society, the sports societies by help them with fundraising, making sure they have the things that they need so they can do better with all the different things in sports. I would have a lot of events that collaborate with the sports societies and with just regular societies in general. Just make sure they have everything that they need. Make sure if they don't have what they need, that way we can fundraise for it and find ways to get what they need, so we can make things better.
So I think both Students' Union and the Athletics Union do an amazing job at the sports and societies on offer for students. However, I understand that sometimes joining club or society can be quite like anxiety inducing. So I think having more activities that are for everyone, particularly with sports clubs, that you don't actually have to compete, you can just go and join, and you don't necessarily have to be good, it's just about taking part and doing something that actually has developed skills in. I think that would be really beneficial for sports clubs because often they are seen as just like elite competitors, which obviously there are very talented people that are part of that, but I think making it more inclusive for people that aren't as good at
I would definitely make sure to work with the sports teams because most of the time students, like when you're in the society, you feel connected to the university. You might not even want to come to class, but because you know they're playing football, you just want to go there and everybody there becomes your friend. And also I work with the team departments to make sure they have a plan for everybody. Because actually the first time I came to school, I go to the basketball team and when I enter I look lost because they are like professionals. So they should have a team for like beginners, people that are just joining, but they feel like they have a sense of belonging. So that would really help everybody feel inclusive in school. Thank you guys.
Have we had any submitted questions?
Oh, have we have. We have 5 questions. Do you want me to
Maybe
pick?
not.
Do you want me to pick my favourite 3?
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going at random to, first of all, I quite like this one. How do you plan to communicate and listen to voices of students who don't use social media and who aren't digitally engaged? How will these students see the events?
Let's start with Amy at the back. Can you wait a second?
One or two.
Yes, I know it's not everybody that uses social media, but everybody belongs to a group. Like the Pakistans, the Indians, the Africans, British. So usually I'm just going to make sure I know all the groups that are available and then have a group chat. I'm going to create a group chat, have a leader from each ethics and talk to them one-on-one, know what they need. By that sense, I feel like I will reach everybody because, okay, if you know there's an Indian group, we put all of them in a group. If they have a problem, even if they can't reach me directly or I can't reach every one of them directly, there will be somebody there that should represent the Indians, the Pakistan, the British, everybody, and then I will be able to get their information across to them.
So I think that really links to student voice representatives and really making the most out of them. They're in the classroom with their course mates every single week. And I think having student voice representatives that are approachable and friendly and are actively trying to seek feedback from others, especially those that are like online and act online. Obviously, it would be really useful to have forms that people could easily fill digitally, but it's really important to get a diverse range of feedback from students, and we'll do that by word of mouth and discussing verbally. So I just think that really important for people having student voice representatives. So, yeah.
I would help people who aren't very digitally inclined by simply just having posters on the wall. People read them as you see them throughout campus, making sure every event has like a poster plastered somewhere on all the different campuses, including the ones that aren't really close by. I would make sure, as she was saying, with the student voice representatives, making sure that they're talking to people, making sure they're asking people to come to these events, and like maybe leaving forms out for people who aren't very digitally inclined. That way they can like put it in like a little box. That way we can like pick them up and read them. Seems a little old school, but it works.
Okay, so like I said earlier, I'm gonna create like feedback boxes for students, DIY feedback boxes that are creative and enticing for you to put in your wherever ideas and all. And also, I'll try to make sure students join societies. You know, want to be part of the Indian. It's not just during election. You want to be part of the Indian society, or you want to be part of the Nigerian society or criminology society. I'll make sure students want to be part of the society. And also with that, I'll try to make sure I collaborate with society, president, and other executives of their society to see how I can get feedback. And also, I want to attend their meetings and try to talk to students, their society, to know what are their needs and all. And also for classes, I'll try to collaborate with like course reps, student reps of that class, and try to be on their groups and see what they need and all. Thank you.
Well, for me, I think that's where the suggestion box is coming, and also leveraging societies. That's where the collaboration aspect of the content. So I will make sure clubs and societies, there are leaders in each club and societies. I can talk to people, so people from different backgrounds should have a society of their own. Should be clubs, sports clubs, and different clubs like that. So I believe if you're not getting information on social media, you're getting it from the club and the societies. And so suggestion board is also going to help because it's going to be visually there for everybody to see. So if you're going towards the classes, you can see it anywhere. So I think that's one of the things that we do.
I feel like as a student student union representative, mainly the main thing is for students that they can come and speak to us directly. They should feel like they can come directly to us and speak to us and tell us about their concerns, but also that goes back with them. We should be around campus, we should be a face that can engage with students, we can speak about events, but then also engaging them through posters. And then with feedback, the feedback should be around campus. There should be places to scan, so you can do a feedback form wherever you are on campus, be that in the cafe, be that in the library, be that in the gym. There should be access to anyone to fill in any feedback, and also so they'll all feel like they've got a voice.
Okay, so no offense to all the answers, but I've got a completely different answer. Because I feel the entire university is filled with posters. No more posters, I feel. No more posters. Yeah, so my approach would be a bit different. Lily and Aditya and Summer already knows because we were thinking of having a mic, actual mic, where everybody can listen to what we are going to have. So literally telling them that this is going to happen. And if you're around the university, you would get to know that. Literally, you will get to know that. Second approach was, again, you guys know it, and because I also was there in the conversation, so I suppose this is also my idea. So yeah, so your lecturer is actually telling you that I'm going to deliver this lecture, but before that, let's have the very first slide where we say CSU presents this, and then people are excited in the morning itself that, oh my God, towards the end of the day, I have something really exciting and joyful to do, so they're happy with the lecture, the academics, social life, our mission, your mission, fulfilled.
I'm going to suggest just one more question.
Yeah.
Thank you to everyone that submitted, but I'd like this one to end on, which is, are you currently part of a society or sports team? And if so, why did you join? Why is it important to you?
Okay, yeah, so I've been part of the Rugby Society well, my whole time in Chester. I've been captain for the last 3 years. I feel like rugby's always been a part of my life. I'm a qualified coach, and that is kind of the career aspirations going forward, that I'd want to be a leader within the rugby community as well, working with obviously academy players and stuff, which I've done in the summer. And my main thing with Chester was when I came here, we were a team which lost every single game first season. The season after, we won 1 game. And the main thing for me was just developing the boys. I feel like we developed as a club. We've been a lot more engaged around campus, which is the first thing that we've done. And then also developing all the boys' confidence in going out and engaging and playing like rugby. They were confident to go and play it. I feel like that's across the board as well. We can do for all societies with partnerships with local clubs.
That was just in time. Thanks. I was like,
Yeah, I'm part of the Islamic Society and Afro-Caribbean Society. So I joined the Islamic Society because I'm Muslim and most of the things that's been done there is what I also do personally. So I think there's a shared interest. So that's one of the reasons why I joined the Islamic Society. And the Afro-Caribbean Society is because I connect people with people of my background, and we could share ideas, and it is to have a sense of home, I would say. So
Well, I've got lots of societies to say. So, but the current one I'll pick up because my president, the Economic Society president is here, and I feel that, yeah, you all know him, so I don't have to tell. Okay, Sam. Okay, perfect. So, Economic Society is something which I really think is relating to what ideas sort of what I have. It's like I'm a business-oriented person. I love startups. I love debates. I love kind of talks related to economics, money, and all of that. Somewhere around the line, we all want money. Come on, don't tell me you don't want money, okay? We all want money, and that's the reason we all are here. So we study, we have jobs, we have everything. So it's more about challenging your own ideas. I really give credit to this man that's really, bringing people all together, making them understand. Actually having an open conversation about everything is really difficult, but he made it through, and I'm glad, and I'm a part of Indian society because, of course, festivals and all that. I'm a part of Evergreen Society.
Okay. So yeah, I'm part of some societies, but the major society I'm part of is the Afro-Caribbean Society. It's a social society with vibes, we're all pure vibes and all, right? And I've done some collaborations with them on some events, and that's the place where I find peace, that's the place where I see like minds, like me, one of vibe, so yeah. And also, I just joined the Criminology Society, and I really had fun there, at their board games, and I saw how they were so united. So yeah.
Well, there's 2 ways of answering this. I'm part of the Law Society because every law student is part of the Law Society, but other than that, I wouldn't say I'm in a proper society, but I do 2 big things on campus. I'm part of Milking It for Money, which is a group that is trying to get more students to talk about their mental health, mental struggles, and finding ways to do better, which is very important to me. And I do Mooting, which is another kind of society thing where we do events, but it's more lecturer-led, if that makes sense. But yeah, those are the societies I'm a part of.
I was part of Law Society. I'm currently part of the Languages and Culture Society, and I'm the president of the Catholic Society. I joined societies in the first place because I wanted to meet other people. I transferred to Chester for my second year of university, so it was basically my first year here, and I didn't know anyone. And I used to live in Devon, so I didn't have any connections in the immediate area. So I think having the societies and clubs were a great way to meet other people, especially those that are like-minded. And I really enjoy it, and I would really encourage everyone to join the society. I think being able to meet people that are like-minded and share the same interests is really great, but with the languages in culture society, I also appreciate the differences that people have, and I really have deep appreciation for people that come from different backgrounds and learning about that. So.
Like I said earlier, I've been to basketball court 2 times because I got an email they were going to be playing, and then I reached there. Then there's nobody to attend to me because I really like sports and I tried to join the society. I sent an email to CSU, they direct me to sports athletes team. From there they sent me somewhere else and I wasn't able to join. But I'm part of the International African Student Society. I don't know if that counts yet because I just wanted to have a sense of belonging.
Thank you for those. So finally, for our student life candidates, they will be given us their final statements, which is the answer to the following question: why should students vote for you? So it'll be 30 seconds on the clock, and I am going to read out Deborah's statement first, so you have 30 seconds to think about your answers. So this is from Deborah. As a passionate advocate for student life with less stress and anxiety, better welfare, inclusiveness and empowerment, I am confident in my ability to drive this vision to reality. During my campaign, I've listened to your concerns and ideas, and I'm committed to addressing the issues that matter most to you. From flexible tuition plans to affordable student accommodation, and from mental health support to culturally diverse food on campus, I will work tirelessly to provide a positive change for you all. As an experienced student leader, both here in Chester and outside the UK, I believe in the power of student life. So do we want to do like the sofas first and then do the tall seats? We'll start on this end.
All right. I believe that students should vote for me because, like Deborah was saying, I will also try to make things cheaper, more affordable for students. I listen and want nothing more than to just make things better for everyone around me, and want to make things better not only for their university life, but their life going forward after they leave.
Okay, please, I want you guys to vote for me because I have this passion for it. And also, not just the passion, I have the strength, I have power to work and and also my mantra is passion to action because, with my passion, I'm able to act, I'm able to carry all along. Thank you very much.
But I think you should vote for me because I have first-hand experience of what student life is about. I've been involved in many extracurricular activities, and I know what student life is about. And I believe in making real impact, not just making false promises. I believe in going straight to action, and I believe if you vote for me, I will never let you down, and I will make sure you feel heard and your feedback will really matter to you.
I feel like students should vote for me because I've got the experience. I've worked with societies for the last 3 years, and I've been going to their games. I've been going to societies, listening to their concerns. I've also worked within the housing market and seen firsthand the difficulties for students. And last point is, if you know me, you know I'm a person who wants to listen and wants to help everyone who I speak to on a daily basis, and that's why I'm going to bring them to this role.
Okay, because I've visited a lot of classes and say the same sentence. So if anybody's from the class who have already listened to me, they already know no poems, no quotes. I don't believe in that. I just believe that if my idea resonates, vote for me. Otherwise, there are 9 other potential candidates. Vote for anybody.
I would just encourage you all to read everybody's manifesto and vote for whoever you think will do the best job and what manifesto resonates with you and the best that is, because it's your opinion at the end of the day. I would love to do this well and I think I would do a good job, but it also needs to come from you as well.
I want you to vote for me because I'm ready to put on the work, the effort, and everything it needs to capture your students' needs and your student voice. And I also believe I've had experience and I have worked as a social director for more than 2 years. And I want you to allow me to be able to give you this experience and give you a new, fresh. Thank you.
Thank you. So you can go join the audience again in a sec. We'll be taking another 2-3 minute break. So if you need a wee.
I know, I see.
Yeah, this is now. I turned it on and on again. Accidentally. Am I a failure?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, everyone. Please take your seats. Okay, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. That's the CEO's voice. Welcome back. Thank you. We're going to welcome the president candidates now. So please, presidents, take your seats. Thank you. So to start, I'm going to give everyone a chance to introduce themselves with names, what you currently study or have been studying, and why you have nominated yourself for the role of president. So this will have a limit of 1 minute each. So let's start this side.
Hi everyone, I'm Lily. For those who don't know, I'm the current president of CSU. I studied PA acting, graduated in November. The reason why I'm rerunning is purely because I've thoroughly enjoyed the past 6 or 7 months. There's certain projects I'm working on that I want to finish delivering. I feel like I've just got to grips with the role and I'm really excited to make change and impact that really matters to students. And I really want to keep that momentum going.
Hi, I'm Alfie. I'm a third-year pharmacology student. And the reason I want to go for the role is, I think the reason that we're all here today is that we want to see change. We want to see the change that we would love to see in this university. I've been the president of a society for the last year and have been working closely with the SU, as well as with other students that I would have never met otherwise. I think what the SU offers is absolutely amazing. And I know that what we can give back to students at the university would be something I would absolutely love to be championing over the next year.
Hi, my name is Peter. I'm a sociology student. I nominated myself because I want to make changes that would benefit both CSU, the university, and most importantly, students.
Great. Okay. So we're going to move on to our big questions round. So this is the ones that have been pre-submitted and candidates have had a chance to think about. So there's 2 minutes on the clock for each one. We'll start this side first. And our first question is, at the end of your term in office, if you are elected, what do you want your legacy to be? What positive, lasting change do you want to have made on students, university, or CSU?
If I'm elected, I want my legacy to be that I was able to increase student engagement, because I believe engagement is important and it improves the student experience. This would mean basically both to the university and CSU would have to adapt to whatever changes need to be made in order for this to happen.
I think the key word that I would use to describe how I want to be seen when I leave the role is awareness. I think when I've been campaigning over this last week, when I say, "Oh, I'm running to be your president," people get excited. When I ask them, "What do you think the SU does?" That's when the faces kind of go a little bit blank. I don't think students are well aware what the student union actually offers and what we are doing for them. And I think increasing that awareness over the year, getting students to engage, because I've seen this year that the union itself is beginning to engage with students, but by the end of next year, I'd love for students to start engaging themselves with the union.
So this is something that's been going through my mind. If I finish this year, what would I want my lasting message to be? And I think for me, it's all about impact. This year, we've seen astronomical growth at the SU, and I want to keep building on that. But most importantly, I want to walk away knowing there's a lasting project, a delivery, and that for me is something that students are really struggling with at the moment, and that's cost of living. Well, we all feel it, whether that be related to food, housing, or just your social life. And I want to walk away knowing I've made a difference to that sector that we're all felt, whether that be through a food pantry, housing support, or increased support within the advice department. I want students to be engaged with it, and I want them to have it for years and years to come.
Thank you. So we have had apologies from Tanvir today, who has prepared an answer to that question, which I'll read out now. Again, you can buzz me if I go over 2 minutes. So, if I'm elected, my primary goal is to create a student union that is more inclusive, accessible, and responsive to student needs. I want to establish a structured feedback system that ensures students' voices are not only heard but also acted upon. Additionally, I would work to introduce initiatives that enhance career development opportunities such as networking events, industry mentorship programs, and employability workshops tailored to students from diverse academic backgrounds. My legacy would be a CSU that fosters stronger student engagement, mental wellbeing support, and academic success pathways, ensuring every student feels supported throughout the university journey. So that was Tanvir's answer to that question. So question 2, is there anything you couldn't fit in your manifesto that you would also like to focus on? Perhaps a small thing that you would love to achieve that wasn't manifesto worthy, or even a big thing? We'll start with you this time.
Yes, so of the points I couldn't fit onto my manifesto, I think there was 2 major ones that I'd like to address at the moment. Those being, I'd love to do more charity work with the SU. I think not only are there things that near and dear to my heart, but I think as a community and as a city as well, there are loads of things that we could be working towards. With Chester being a multi-campus university, I think we see a lot more city life than a lot of other universities do. And I think that kind of bringing that back to that as well, I would love to work with charities helping with local homeless communities. For myself, I think working with charities that deal with LGBTQ, stuff like that, I think would be amazing. The other thing is, I think a unique opportunity that is presented to Chester is how sustainable we are as a campus. I know we have the Hedgehog team, we've got the sustainability team, we have another in the room, we've got the David Attenborough Society over there. But we also have the Britain's leading zoo also on our front doorstep, which I think if we can reflect kind of how environmentally, well, where we are, that's something that we as a university have over everyone else.
Of course, I think it wasn't really at the forefront of my manifesto this year, just purely because listening to student feedback from the last year, it's not something that has been screamed out to me, but it's always something that's in the background, and I would say that's around mental health and well-being. I ran a campaign alongside Wellbeing Week centred around self-care, and I think that message really stuck with the students who engaged with it, and I'd want to keep that going. I myself, when I was at university, did struggle in my final year with the exam pressure and just general life being life. And I found the wait time to speak to the wellbeing team ridiculous. I had friends who never actually got that support in the end. They finished their journey at the university without having that much needed support in need. So I really would want to work with student services again at relooking at how accessible and how much students can interact in the ways that they want to interact. It can be so off-putting and it's such a scary thing to ask for help. So I'd want to keep that message going.
I'd like to focus on finding a way to successfully get students to work together so that we can get a good mix of ideas that benefit students so they don't feel left out and they can continue feeling included in every side of university life.
Great. So our final question in this round, how do you plan on capturing meaningful feedback and engaging students?
So meaningful feedback, what does that look like? I think there's so many different platforms that you can look at. Of course, you've got social media. For those who haven't seen, I'm not afraid of making myself look like an idiot and put it on the internet. So there's definitely that way. I think there's in-person interactions. So whether that be through student voice, different events that we put on, walking down the corridor, how's your day? What course are you doing? Are you enjoying it? This, that, and the other. Just a friendly chat, going directly out. We've had conversations in regards to other different media platforms that we could reach out to, whether that be looking at doing a radio show through a society or linking up with the media team. I think it's about us also working in partnership with the university. We're such a small team here and there's only so much we can do. So where can we pull on other companies and where can we pull on the university to spread that message and capture it more? I think simple things such as a suggestion box. We've got campuses dotted all over Chester. It is impossible to reach them all. So how do we do that? A simple notice board where you can stick a post-it on, so effective. And I think that's one way that we could also look at doing that.
I agree. Meaningful feedback is important to ensure that university are aware of what students want to do. And it really would enhance student experience when they are at university. I'd like to put together a team which would work with the SCRs, would maybe liaise to help give feedback to the student voice reps, and then liaise with full-time officers. Because I feel it's it was really nice student voice, which I believe is really both important and valuable.
I think that it's not necessarily a tearing down of what we've already got as foundation. I think kind of redirecting and refining what we already have would be the best thing to do. I think working with student voice representatives, student voice partners, student council, maybe even working with other societies who I know represent huge amounts of people who come down to the campus and engage with student life and engage with all of the kind of academic side of things as well. I think just generally overall, using what we already have and bringing it all together so that at the end of the day, we can look at everything together and we can kind of draw where we need to be looking, what students need us to be doing. Because at the end of the day, we are led by students as much as we can get up here and say we are representing students at the end of the day.
Great, thank you. So now it's everybody's favorite time. It's whiteboard time. It's speed round. With our glamorous assistant to hand out the whiteboards for you. Put it down. As always, we will start with a really nice, easy one. So 15 seconds on the clock. If you could be any animal, what animal would you be and why? Your time starts. Are we ready to reveal? 3, 2, 1. Okay. Varied. Why is this?
Was they just chilling? Like they just like they're kind of easy. I love fish.
Penguin, an eater of fish.
Yes, a penguin. Not for any of the subtext there, but I'd like just to be able to slide just on my belly all the way.
What was yours? A dog, because they're loyal?
Because they're loyal and trustworthy.
Perfect. Right, now to the good stuff. 15 seconds again. What has been your favourite CSU campaign this year? And can we reveal our answers, please?
I won't be offended.
Looks like we've got 2 Shag Weeks. Why did you go for Shag Week?
Because it's universally known. Everybody knows about it. Whereas other campaigns she's may not always be aware of, and I may not always be aware of every single campaign, but I do know this one.
And why did you go for Shag Week?
Obviously, I'm going to be a little bit biased. It was my campaign. I think it's about the partnership we made afterwards. Although it was fun and like students really did engage with it, we saw fantastic engagement. It actually had a lasting impact. So if you don't know, there's free testing kits in the SU toilets. There's free condoms. That's available all year round. So that message that we delivered, it's not stopped at the end of the week. And I think it was nice that we worked with the wider community on it. So that partnership's done with Chester Sexual Health Clinic. So it's about reaching out to the local community as well. So yes, I'm biased, but that is why.
And Money Week. So I'm assuming Speak Week, the money one.
Yes. With that, not to bring the mood down or anything, but I know last year particularly, I did struggle with sometimes choosing between whether to go to work or go to lectures because of cost of living and because of how difficult everything's been recently. And it just really resonated with me how much kind of work the student union is doing for causes like that.
Okay, amazing. So next question. What do you think is the most important part of the role of president? 15 seconds. Pens down, please. Reveal your answers. Why empathy?
Because to be able to understand, to be able to deal with what student problem is, you need to understand the student.
And similar, listening.
Yes. With that, I think as a representative of students, obviously I've got my own lived experience, but I haven't lived everyone else's experience. And I think being able to listen to other students, listen to where they're coming from, and being able to kind of feed that back in a way that's productive for everyone is honestly, I think, the most important thing you can have when it comes to the role.
And then
Governance. So if you don't know, you become a governor of the uni. And I would actually say most of my time is actually taken up surrounded looking at policies, reading committee papers, and feeding back everything that you guys say to us. That to me is the most important part of the job. Yes, it looks fun on social media and that I'm dancing down the street and this, that, and the other. But this, honestly, will take up, if you guys get in, it will take up majority of your time.
Great question 4. What do you believe is the biggest issue facing University of Chester students right now? We'll finish with time. Do you want to reveal? Mental health, why did you go for that one?
Having spoken to other students, I believe, especially since kind of COVID in 2020, mental health has become more and more of a factor every single year. I've spoken to so many students who may not say that they may not be receiving kind of the awareness and having that voice. I know with student services as well, that I know students who've been waiting to access their mental health services for quite some time now and have not been able to reap the benefit of that, and representing those students would be absolutely amazing.
And loneliness probably linked to mental health.
Yeah, definitely a direct link there. We came up with shared officer goals and we all experienced some kind of loneliness in our time at university. That's why I set up the Lily's Pad events, so they're free or low cost events for students to attend. We get new faces, we get the same faces, it creates that community spirit. You never want to ever feel alone. Most people are away from home. It's a big culture change, especially in that first couple of months. And I think this is something that is felt across the sector, not just here at Chester. And I think it'd be important that anyone in this role makes an impact when it comes to this.
And apathy.
I think it's going back to student engagement, or the lack of it, in getting students to engage with events, with what's going on, to ensure that they are well informed, getting students to come for positions like this, for example, or council, or wherever it is. I think that's basically important because that in itself enhances their experience and also looks good on their CV.
Great, so final question for this round. Describe your vision for your time as an officer in 3 words. Pens down, please. Can you reveal your answers? Do you want to read them out again?
It's together, feedback, and change.
Satisfaction.
Impactful, fun, and inclusive.
Great. So that was the end of our speed round. So now, for the final time this evening, we're offering it up to the audience again. So like the previous times, you can submit your questions using Slido. I will get out of the way in a second. There is the link on the Teams channel if you're in that, and you can access it via slido.com. I'll put the thing up on the screen in a second and a code. You'll have a couple of minutes to get them in, and whilst we wait for those, our current VP student, Mike Sumner, has a question for all 3 of the president candidates. There'll be 1 minute on the clock.
So obviously, I know Lily, you know this book very well, so this might be an easy question, but I thought it was a really difficult thing, question to think about, especially in terms of presidency, because many people don't actually know what a president does, at CSU. But my question would be, what would you do if lots of students suddenly started contacting you about a big issue? Because this is something we have faced, and this is something that can be quite difficult for people. So what would you do?
Yeah, I think it's about communication. So As Summer said, we have had this as an officer team. It's about sitting down as an officer team, delegating who's responsible for it, whose remit does it fit in, then going to the CSU staff, asking them for help and advice. They've done this for years, they know better than us, so they know who we need to contact. It's about getting as much information as possible, so that message of communication, again, going back to the people who are coming to us, asking them further, getting a deeper understanding, paint a bigger picture, running a focus group if needed, but it's about pulling on the contacts that you know, listening and not just speaking. Thank you.
I think it is much like what you were saying there, being able to talk to your team, being able to talk to the other staff members around, being able to pull everything together, but I think also trusting that your team is able to do their job. I know that sometimes when you're faced with an issue, it is hard not to just put yourself at the front and just try and get everything done, but putting that trust in your team that they can do the work as well.
Basically, I echo what's been said by both Lily and Alfie, but I would add on to that basically I would be wanting to find out what's caused this issue in the first place. Okay, resolving it and working together is brilliant, but what caused it? I would like, because at the end of the day, whatever happens, we don't want, once it's solved, whatever problem gets sorted, we don't want it rearing its head again. So to get to the root cause, might stop it ever coming back again.
Thank you guys.
Have we had any submitted?
Oh. So we have got 8 questions. So let's see how we go. First one at random, I'm going to pick, and it's a doozy. I would like to ask the candidates, how would you work alongside student council?
Peter, do you want to start with that one?
Basically, I would work alongside student council. It's basically keeping them informed of things that I think things that are important, that we feel that the student council need to approve, that they need to be part of. Anything that I might actually need their help with. So basically, that's how I would work it.
I think working as directly as possible with student council. I know there's a few people running for student council within the room as well, but I think definitely working as closely as I can with them, being able, because I know that the people that they represent, just individually we need to make sure that their voices being heard. And so I believe working with them and making sure that there is that open communication, so both sides know what is actually happening.
So student council is actually our boss, so I'd keep them sweet, that's for sure. I feel like I keep saying this, I've already done it. I worked with Millie on an anti-drink spiking campaign along my consent campaign. I asked her what her vision was for the campaign, and together we brought it to life. Me and Millie had a conversation today. Millie's our women's officer, who people don't know. We had a conversation today in regards to running a women empowerment event. I have a very good relationship with Keenan, who is the current chair of student council, so keeping that conversation open. I think when we give our reports, we meet 4 times a year. In those reports, I try to make it as detailed as possible. They're there to scrutinise every single thing I do, so I'd like to make sure they know every single thing I'm doing. So it's about open communication and being open to their ideas and suggestions. Yes, most of the time we're the ones delivering it, but it's them in the background who is making that happen.
Okay, we've gone deep now. What inspired you to run for this role?
We'll start with
I think coming from the background of having done a year running a society committee, being able to work with students and just see how much I've been able to give to them already. For example, a student who joined this year was quite nervous when they'd started the year, and by the end they've met someone through society who they'll be moving into a house with next year. And I think it's stories like that that have inspired me to go for the role, because I think if we can offer that to every student, that kind of experience, then my job would be I'd be absolutely ecstatic with that.
That's such a big question. I was recommended to go for the role last year. I set up a society, and Ellie, the previous president, thought it'd be great. And I looked into it and I thought, it'd be so good to be part of something that's a bit bigger than you. We represent over 15,000 students, and how incredible would it be that I'm the voice that echoes everything that those students need. I think when it comes to what inspires me is the students.
Being obviously running society and also being on student council has given me basically provided me with quite a large experience already. And for me, the logical step was to go for it, see what happens, and try and complete the hat trick.
Okay, thank you very much. Next one. Where's it gone? What sets you aside from the other candidates?
Okay. Well, I see myself as approachable, easy to get on with, good listener, and a fun guy, as those on a Monday night will tell you.
So that sets you apart from the others.
I'd like to have you on.
I think I'd say insight. I'm currently a student. I've been a student for the last 3 years. I've engaged in basically every single aspect of student life, and I've been talking with people who've had loads of different experiences. So I think having that, just kind of bringing that into the role is what would set me apart here.
I think there's two things for this. Obviously, the obvious. I've done the role. I know how it works. I know how to engage with students. I know how to connect with them. But something that is a bit obvious, but might not be too obvious. I'm a woman. I get the struggles that women have faced at universities, faced in the wider community. I'm that voice. No matter what, your VP education is going to be a male. How nice would it be that women are also represented here at CSU?
Thank you. What is a value you hold close, and how will you enact or use that value in your presidency?
I think it's about truth and honesty. We've talked about like student engagement and student voice and how do we collect that. But I think we have to sometimes be honest to our students, say that's not possible, that is not something that we can do in our remit, and closing that feedback loop. So I think I'm quite good, and I think as an officer team and as CSU in general, it's something that we're always working on, is being a bit more truthful in what is actually obtainable. So I think for me, although the message can be sometimes hard to deliver, I think it's my honesty.
I think going on a similar point, I'd say integrity, being able to look at something that you maybe have put forward as an idea early in the year, and then realizing halfway through it's not going to be feasible. Having the strength to go in front of all those people, tell them that it's not going to happen, but also being like truthful to yourself as well, and not letting just anything kind of compromise your values.
For me, be hardworking and dedicated. Hardworking, because obviously there's a lot of hard work involved in the role anyway. Dedicated, basically to show that if you decide to take something on, you'll see it through to the end and show your dedication to the students by ensuring that whatever solution it might be is achieved.
Should we call it?
We can call it. Thank you for all of those. Thank you for submitting some really interesting ones there. So finally, the president candidates will be given us their final statements, which is the answer to the question, why should students vote for you? I will read out the one from Tanvir first. There'll be 30 seconds on the timer, please. I'm looking forward to being buzzed again. So from Tanvir. Students should vote for me because I'm committed to making real, tangible improvements that matter to you. I'm not here to make empty promises. I'm here to listen, act, and deliver. My vision is to create a more supportive, engaging, and opportunity-rich university experience for every student. Whether it's better career support, mental health services, or academic guidance, I will ensure that CSU is working for you. Together, we can build a stronger and more connected student community where everyone feels valued and empowered. Vote for me, and let's make this change happen together. Wow, we did it in time. Should we start on this end and work this way?
Since you vote for me, because I am a good listener, I will act on anything concerns that are brought to my attention. I believe that listening to students is crucial, and students need to be able to trust the officers who represent them. Engagement is a two-way street. It's okay us expecting the students to engage with us.
I think the key reason you should vote for me is fresh perspective. I believe that I can bring in a new perspective that we can going into the new year that we can move forward with. I want to make sure that every student's voice is heard, and I'm here as much as I'm here to talk in front of you all. I'm also here to listen and to feedback.
So why should you vote for me? I've done it for the past year. I've had the experience. I want to continue to deliver the change that I have, and I'm dedicated to doing so. I know Alfie spoke about having a fresh perspective, but I also have that fresh perspective. I was just a student a few months ago. I speak to students regularly. I know what you want, and I know what you need, and I'm keen to deliver it.
Thank you. Sorry about that interruption. So that was all of our questions today. You can go and rejoin the audience while I do my spiel about that was all of our questions today. Thank you so much, candidates, for answering those questions. I know that some of them were really tough, especially the submitted ones when you have to think on your feet. And also thank you to everybody who submitted questions in the chat and in person today. And thank you to everybody who attended as an audience member. As I'm sure you're all aware, voting opens on March the 13th at 9 a.m. and it closes on March the 14th at 1 p.m. So you do only have a day and a half to vote. So make sure you get those votes in. You can vote by clicking the link we send you in your student email. So please check your emails for once. And this will take you directly to the voting page. You don't even have to write your name anywhere. It will take you straight there. It will also be on the homepage of our website, which is chestersu.com, but it is easiest if you just click the link that we send you in your email. Remember that we use an alternative voting system, which means you can vote for your first, second, third, and so on preferences, not just one person per role. So if you have a couple of candidates that you really like the sound of, then you can vote for both of them as a first and second preference. More information about our voting system can be found on our website. So please do have a look at the little video that's under elections on our website there too. We are also electing student council part-time officers as well. So do make sure to have a look at their manifestos. All of the candidates' manifestos are again available on our lovely website. So please do have a read through them. They will also be there on the voting widget on voting day. So you can read through them then too. There is a drop-in lunch on the 12th of March, which you can come to talk to all of the candidates, including the part-time ones. So please do attend if you want to have a more sort of informal chat with any of the candidates the day before voting. Something might change your mind, I don't know. This is on our events. So if you go to chestersu.com, click on events, it'll all be there. But thank you, everybody, and well done to all of the candidates for talking.
Yeah.